The click of the automatic lock sent ice through my veins. My 7-year-old son Tommy sat frozen in the backseat of the stranger's truck, his Spider-Man backpack clutched against his chest. The driver's weathered hand remained on the lock button, his knuckles white with tension. "Ma'am, I know this looks bad," the man said, his voice steady but urgent. "But you need to listen to me very carefully. Don't get out of this truck. Don't open that door. And whatever you do, don't let your boy step outside." My hand was already on the door handle. We'd only accepted this ride because our car had broken down on this desolate Montana highway, and the temperature was dropping fast. Now every instinct screamed danger. "Let us out now." My voice shook, but I tried to sound firm. The driver turned to face me fully, and that's when I saw it, not menace in his eyes, but genuine fear. "Look at your son's neck. Look closely." Before I continue, if you're enjoying this true story of how a stranger's terrifying action saved my son's life, please subscribe to Silent Revenge Stories. We share real accounts of justice, protection, and unexpected heroes. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that might one day save someone you love. I glanced back at Tommy. At first, I saw nothing wrong. Then he shifted slightly, and I noticed what the driver had seen, a small, dark shape moving just beneath his collar. My blood ran cold. "That's a tick," the driver said quietly. "But not just any tick. See how swollen it is. See those white spots on its back? That's a Rocky Mountain wood tick, and from the size of it, it's been feeding for a while. Maybe since you stopped at that rest area 2 hours back. So, we'll remove it when we get to town." "No, ma'am, you don't understand." He pulled out his phone, keeping one eye on the road. "I'm a wilderness paramedic. Been one for 23 years. That tick is engorged enough that if you remove it wrong, if you panic and just yank it out, you could kill your son." The word "kill" hung in the air like a thunderclap. I locked the doors because I've seen what happens when panicked parents find ticks on their kids in my truck. They bolt. They rip the tick out right there on the roadside. And sometimes, he paused, his jaw tightening, sometimes those ticks carry a paralysis toxin. If the head breaks off during removal, or if the tick releases all its saliva in distress, that toxin floods the bloodstream all at once. I watched a little girl stop breathing once, right there on Highway 89. Her parents had pulled her out of a Good Samaritan's car, terrified he was kidnapping her. By the time I got there with proper tools, it was too late. My mouth went dry. Tommy was looking at me with confused, trusting eyes. He had no idea about the tiny vampire attached to his neck, no idea that this locked truck might be the only thing standing between him and disaster. "So what do?" I whispered. "We drive to the clinic in Willow Creek. 15 more minutes. I've already texted Dr. Morrison. She's expecting us. She has the right tweezers, the right technique, and the antitoxin ready just in case." He glanced at me. "I know you don't know me from Adam. I know this situation is every parent's nightmare, but I'm asking you to trust me for 15 more minutes." I studied his face, deep lines around his eyes, a faded scar across his cheek, a St. Christopher medal hanging from his rearview mirror, and on his dashboard a photo of a young girl, maybe 9 or 10, with missing front teeth and his same gentle smile. "Your daughter?" I asked. His expression softened and darkened simultaneously. Leukemia took her 3 years ago." He touched the photo gently. "Emma loved helping me on calls. She wanted to be a paramedic too. After we lost her, I made myself a promise. I'd keep other people's kids safe, even if it meant looking like a villain to do it." Tommy spoke up from the back, his voice small. "Mom, my neck itches." "Don't scratch it, baby," I said quickly, then to the driver, "Can he scratch it?" "No, any disturbance could make it inject more saliva. Just keep him calm and still." I turned around, forcing a smile. "Tommy, remember that game we play, the statue game? We're going to play it now. You're going to be the best statue in the whole world for just a little bit longer, okay? Don't touch your neck, don't move your head. Can you do that for Mom?" He nodded seriously, then caught himself and froze. Is this because of the bug? The driver and I exchanged looks. You knew about it, I asked. I felt something tickling me at the park, but you said we had to go, so I didn't want to complain. His voice carried that particular guilt children have when they think they've done something wrong. My heart shattered. Oh, sweetheart, you did nothing wrong, nothing at all. The next 15 minutes felt like 15 hours. The driver, who finally introduced himself as Marcus Webb, kept up a steady stream of conversation, telling Tommy about the mountains we were passing, the wildlife in the area, asking about his favorite superheroes. Anything to keep him distracted and still. You're good at this, I said quietly. Had a lot of practice with Emma during her treatments. She was scared of needles. I learned that distraction is sometimes the best medicine. He paused. I'm sorry I frightened you. I just couldn't risk you both running before I could explain. I've seen it go wrong too many times. How did you even spot it? I'm his mother and I missed it completely. Occupational habit. I automatically scan people for signs of distress, injury, anything unusual. When Tommy got in the truck and turned his head, the light caught something on his neck that didn't belong. Took me a second to recognize what it was, and then I knew we had a problem. The town of Willow Creek appeared like an oasis. Marcus pulled directly up to a small clinic where a woman in scrubs was already waiting outside. Dr. Morrison moved with practiced efficiency, getting Tommy inside and onto an examination table within seconds. Good eye, Marcus, she said, leaning in to examine the tick with a magnified light. This one's been feeding for at least 4 hours, maybe more. You're right about the species, too. She worked with extraordinary care, using specialized tweezers to grasp the tick as close to Tommy's skin as possible. Tommy, you're being so brave. Just a few more seconds. Don't move at all. The removal took nearly 5 minutes, an eternity of holding my breath. When Dr. Morrison finally pulled the tick free, completely intact, she dropped it into a specimen container. Got it, head and all, clean removal. She immediately applied antiseptic and began monitoring Tommy's vital signs. We'll watch him for the next 2 hours for any signs of tick paralysis, but since we removed it properly and quickly, he should be fine. I finally let myself breathe. Then I turned to Marcus, who was standing quietly by the door, and burst into tears. Hey, he said awkwardly, offering a handkerchief. Kid's okay, that's what matters. You saved his life. You locked us in your truck, probably made me think you were a kidnapper for a few minutes, and you saved his life. Just did what anyone should do. But most people wouldn't. Most people would have just mentioned the tick and let us handle it. You risked me thinking the worst of you. You risked your reputation, maybe even legal trouble if I'd panicked and called the police. He shrugged, but I could see the emotion in his eyes. Emma would have wanted me to. She always said that being brave sometimes means being misunderstood. Tommy, hooked up to monitors but already looking more comfortable, piped up. Mom, Mr. Marcus is a hero like Spider-Man. Yeah, baby, he really is. 2 hours later, Dr. Morrison gave Tommy the all-clear. No signs of toxin, no paralysis. Just a small mark where the tick had been, which would fade in time. She sent the tick off for disease testing as a precaution, but felt confident he'd escaped the worst outcomes. Marcus drove us to the auto shop where our car was being towed. Before we parted ways, I got his contact information. I'm writing about this, I told him. People need to know about tick safety, about proper removal, about the fact that sometimes the scariest-looking situations are actually someone trying to help. He smiled, the first real smile I'd seen from him. Just make sure they know to check their kids after hiking, and to trust their instincts, but also to look a little deeper before they judge. That happened 3 months ago. Tommy is fine. The tick tested negative for diseases. Our car got fixed. Life returned to normal. Except I think about Marcus Webb every single day. I think about how close I came to forcing my way out of that truck. I think about how a stranger's willingness to be misunderstood saved my son's life. I think about Emma, the little girl in the dashboard photo, and how her spirit lives on in her father's quiet heroism. And I check Tommy's skin obsessively now, every single time we go outside. Sometimes the most terrifying words, "Don't get out, trust me," are exactly what we need to hear. Sometimes the locked door isn't a prison, but protection. And sometimes the stranger we fear is actually the angel we need. Marcus Webb locked those doors because he saw what I had missed, because he knew what I didn't know, because he cared more about my son's safety than about my temporary opinion of him. That's not just heroism. That's love, the kind that puts others first, even at personal cost. If this story moved you, please share it with other parents. Tick safety saves lives. And remember to subscribe to Silent Revenge Stories for more real accounts of justice and unexpected heroes. Sometimes revenge isn't about getting even. It's about protecting the innocent, no matter the cost.